Okay, today in this video we're going to look at Chapter 6, Section 1. So we're plowing on through with it, which is great. Moving nice at a good pace, so we're doing fine. And we're looking at line and angle relationships. So you obviously have that St. James heading, and then you write Chapter 6, Section 1, and then you write underneath that line and angle relationships. Some of this is going to be review because you guys know a lot of this already, but then how we apply it, it's just going to be a little bit different. So just to remind us, congruent angles are angles that have the same measure. Okay, congruent angles are angles that have the same measure. Okay, so if I have an angle, okay, like this, and I say this is 30 degrees, okay, and then and I say this is angle A, okay, and then I have angle B, okay, and I say to you angle A is congruent with angle B, okay. These little slanted L's are angles, and that wave with an equal sign is that's how you represent congruent, okay. So that means if angle A is congruent with angle B, then angle B's measure would be 30 degrees because they'll have the same measure. Okay, so same measure. Congruent means the same. Okay, vertical angles are opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. So here are two lines that I drew that are intersecting. Okay, so you have this line here is intersecting with this line here. Okay, and what happens is you have angles that are formed because of it. Well, that means, and I wrote it here, angle 1, okay, angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles, okay. Angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical angles, even though angle 2 here is, on the horizontal side. Vertical means what? It means they're opposite each other, and vertical angles are congruent. So angle 1 is congruent with angle 3, and angle 2 is congruent with angle 4. Okay, so all those um, measures would be, well, angle 1's measure would be the same as angle 3, and angles 2 measure would be the same as angle 4. Whatever that they may be, they could be anything, but they're the same, whatever it would be. And that's why you need to know vertical angles, because the relationship to each other would help you, solve different problems. Make sure you're writing all this down. Pause the video if you have to. Okay, the sum of the measures of complementary angles is 90 degrees. Okay, so here is an angle, and that is 90 degrees right there. But if I take one, say, stick a line and stick it here, and I say this is 30 degrees, just making something up, and then here is 60 degrees. Well, complementary means the 30 plus the 60, that has to equal 90 degrees, and it does. Okay, 30 degrees plus 60 degrees equals the overall 90 degrees. So these two angles are complementary. Anything 90 degrees or, that equals 90 degrees is complementary. Those two angles are they complement each other. Okay, the sum of measures of supplementary angles is 180. So here I have a straight line. That's 180 degrees. And if I draw a line here, and I say this is 60 degrees, then this measurement here, okay, is 120 degrees, because 120 degrees plus 60 degrees equals 180 degrees. And that means these two angles, the blue one and the green one, are supplementary. They make up 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees. All right, make sure you write all this down. Lines that intersect at a right angle are called perpendicular lines. So this is something definitely review. These are perpendicular. And perpendicular means they have to have right angles on, on the corners here. So right angles, okay? That's perpendicular. You know that. Make sure you write it down there so we don't forget. Two lines that never intersect or cross are called parallel lines. So obviously here you have two lines, and they will forever infinitely in either, going off to the left and to the right, infinitely will not ever, ever, ever intersect. Okay, so they're parallel. They will never intersect. Okay, a line that intersects two or more other lines is called a transversal. So here is an example, okay? And let's say I have, um, okay, two lines, okay, they happen to be parallel, okay, and I draw this line through. Well, this line got just crossed over those parallel lines. That's your transversal. Okay, that's your transversal. And when it's a transversal like that, these angles, their angles are created. So angle 1, angle 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. Okay, all of these angles are created and they have relationships. Okay, and I'm going to refer to them. So make sure you write this graph down because I'm going to refer to them, right now as we bring up these definitions here. Okay, we have alternate interior and alternate exterior. And some of you using Khan Academy have already experienced doing some of their problems, what they are. But let's review for those who haven't. Alternate interior. Interior refers to the angles inside between these two parallel lines. They're inside, okay? So if you refer to numbers 4, angle 4 and angle 3, angle 5 and angle 6, they're interior. Okay, they're just interior angles. Okay, so we know they're interior, but what about them? Well, alternate interior means that some angles are the same, the measurement is the same. So actually, angle 4 is congruent with angle 6. Angle 4 and angle 6, those measurements, that measurement, if we took a protractor, okay, if I got a protractor here, whoops, I was going to get a protractor, and it's not coming. Somewhere I thought I'd get a protractor, but it's not there. Okay, so if I measure these two angles here, right here, and right here, that measurement's going to be the same. Angle 4 and angle 6 are the same. They're alternate. They're on either side of, alternate means on either side of that green line, and then they're alternate, and then inside they're interior. So alternate interior means they're equal, and then angle 3 is coordinate or is congruent with angle 5. Angle 3 and angle 5 are congruent because they're also alternate, but then interior angles. Okay, now alternate exterior means outside. So now we're looking at the 4 remaining angles on the outside. So angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8 they are exterior. They're outside of those parallel lines. Okay, now let's talk about the relationships. Angle 1, right here, this guy, is congruent, meaning the measurement's the same, with angle 7. Angle 1 is congruent with angle 7. And angle 2, right here, is congruent with angle 8. Angle 2 is congruent, angle 2 is congruent with angle 8. They have the same angle, measurement, if you had to measure it, okay? Now, corresponding angles are those angles that are in the same position on the two lines in relation to the transversal, okay? So, for example, here, in this example, angle 2 and angle 6 are in the same position in relation to the transversal. That this line right here is your transversal, this guy. Okay, and angle 6. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding angles. Okay, angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding angles because they're in the same position. Angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. Angle 1 is corresponding with angle 5. Okay, and then angle 3 and angle 7. Angle 3 is corresponding with angle 7. Okay, and then we have one more, angle 4 and angle 8. Angle 4 and angle 8. Angle 4 is corresponding with angle 8. So those measurements corresponding means they're congruent. Those measures, the measurement would be the same. The measurement would be the same. Okay, the measurement would be the same. Okay, so let's try some of this. Let's see what this means. Okay, um, let's find the value of x in each figure. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example here. I have this line and a line coming out of it, and right here is 38 degrees, and then we want to know, okay, what is this angle right here, x? If I say this is x, what is this measurement right here? What is that measurement right there? We have to find the value of it. Okay, well, let's see. I know that straight across, all the way straight across, just going straight across, is 180 degrees. This total is 180 degrees. Okay, so x, whatever that number is, whatever that measurement is, plus the 38 has to equal 180 degrees because that's the total amount. Okay, so if I subtract 38 degrees, subtract 38 degrees, okay, I get x to be the measurement for that remaining space for that angle is what? 142 degrees. Okay, because we know those two angles together have to equal 180 degrees. We know they have to equal 180 degrees. Okay, let's try another one. What if I have here, okay, this angle here, and then an angle breaks off. This angle right here is 25 degrees. So what is this angle right here? What is x in this case? Well, I know that altogether, this whole thing right here has to be what? What is it? What is it total altogether? As a whole, x plus the 25 have to equal 90 degrees. Okay, so what does x have to be so that together with the 25 equals 90? What does x have to be? Well, I'll subtract 25, okay, and x then must be what? 65 degrees. So that measurement right there, just where x is 65 degrees. Okay, because we were using the rules that supplementary angles, here supplementary is the 180. That means that these two angles, x and 38, must equal 180 degrees. That's supplementary. Supplementary angles. Okay, and then this rule here says these two angles, x plus 25, have to equal 90 degrees, and that's complementary. Okay, they must equal 90 degrees. So they complement each other. They're complementary. Okay, so pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. Okay, not hard. You just got to watch out and make sure you're using the right rules. Okay, your homework for, or the problem for next class, not homework. Problem for next class. If you do beforehand, it makes things go faster. Okay, if this is my angle, okay, and I say this is 76 degrees, okay, what is x? Okay, what is the value for x? See you next class.